Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about is using shape to show. Let me close this, guys. So we're going to talk about using shape to show contrast and emphasis. Shape. So a shape, like we all know, shape, we have circles, rectangles or squares, triangles and hexagons and all of that. So the shapes are very important too, because you can use them to show contrast between one element or the other. Yeah, so it's not just using scale. You can use scale. So most of these principles, you can use them, intertwine them, and use them at the same time. So you can't. You're not supposed to just say I'm using just one. Yeah, most times, because you can actually, the more contrast you add, the more emphasis you add, makes the design more functional and appealing to the eyes of the person who is going to be reading from it or getting information from it. So shapes are quite important. So I'm going to put in a couple of designs that where shape was used to explain explanations. All right. Yeah, so this design, so this design now, I have a couple of shapes that I used for this design. I have this shape here. Yeah, so I have this shape here that I used to highlight online course. All right, so definitely, like we talked about type and using scale, you can see you can see that in my designs I'm applying the principles. So we have foundation of typography. These are the same typeface. These two, the same typeface. But I made it different color. I made it different size. I made it different fonts. So this is lighter than this one. I emphasize on the faith. Then when it comes to the online course, it's the same typeface. I just changed the color and changed the fonts, and I used a bolder font for online to show you that we are doing this thing we are doing is online. No? Don't start coming to church to come and look for foundation of it. An online thing. So I made the online bigger compared to the course to show emphasis. Yeah. And then I put a shape underneath it. Do it again. So I drew this and I wrote foundation of faith. Right, and then I want this guy to be underneath. I highlight it and I increase size, change this to auto, give space. Then I made this foundation of to be regular. Then the faith I made big. Now in Photoshop you have what you call guides here. So these guides, once you pull at a ruler, if you cannot see a ruler on your Photoshop, press Ctrl R on your laptop or Command R on your Mac to come out. So just click and hold and drag out a guide. So this guide helps you to know where to place what. So you can see that from this my guide now. This is our foundation. It's kind of like out. It's coming out of the guide. Not by our own doing, it just happens to. You understand? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the foundation and faith on different text box. So I'll cut this, Ctrl X. So let this be just foundation of. Then I will draw another one and put faith there. Move this to the edges, move this one. Edge too. Then also I'll draw another guide out to check mark this place. Alright, and make sure they both sit.
Balanced.
Yeah, balanced, yeah. So foundation of faith. Ta-da. That's what I did. Then online course. Online course. Okay, so this online course, I reduced the size of the fonts. Yes, and I made this one, let's say, extra bold. Alright. But I didn't just leave it like this. Alright, so what I did was, next thing I did was to take a shape, control and semicolon. So it makes your guides disappear or appear. Yeah, or you go to view and go to show guide. And check it. It goes. I go to view, show guide. Maybe to come back again. So control apostrophe control semicolon. Move or hide your guide. So I'm going to move this. Now for our shape I'm going to use is a rectangle. So I'll draw the, but the problem now is that I will draw a rectangle. Now the rectangle I draw is white, so I'm doing black and white, so I'm not using any color. I put it underneath the online course and change the color to black, the font color to black. Alright, and make sure the online course is sitting at the middle of the rectangle.
What?
If it's sitting like this, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not there. So these alignments, I've not talked about alignments, but let's begin talking alignments now. So this thing I'm doing now, making sure everything is in the same line. That's what you call alignment. So if you see anybody's design that something is looking like this,
Out of place.
It's just not good. Alright, so you want to make sure that everything is looking. But now you can see that we can't have both the text, both the shape and the text hugging that line. It's going to look funny. Alright, so it's the shape now that will hug the line, and the text will nudge it inside. Like this. Alright. Then I now made a part of this thing. So let me do it from here. So if I move this, I can see that every single part of the shape is curving. But I don't want that. I don't want every single part. So I just want that part. So I come here and unlink it. Properties, under properties. Now if you can't see properties, go to Windows and properties. Make sure it's checked. Properties come out. So I uncheck this and then I smooth it up a little bit. Ta-da. So I've created the same thing. This is why I use this shape now to show, to emphasize on, to make sure to make a contrast between the black text and the black background. Yeah. So this shape, the color of the shape and the color of this fit is the same thing. So in a way, it just makes you know the foundation of fit. But this is also important, the online course. And even inside the online course, the online itself is important. Yeah. It's much more important than the course. Yeah. So as a designer, that's your work. So you make it easier for the people using it to be able to comprehend it. That's that. So I also use shape here. Yeah, because I could have written the same way we have yellow color text here. I could have just put the dates and the time yellow and just paste it there. But I needed to do a differentiation between the information we have here and the information we have here. The information we have here is information on
Description.
Yeah, description of what we are doing. Here now is the time and the date. When are we doing it? Where are we doing it? Or what time are we doing it? So I needed to make a demarcation between this and this. So I used a different shape, a darker green, to demarcate that. Now in terms of registration, I used another one, color, shape another color to demarcate. So shapes are also important. The more you use shapes in your designs, the more you can use shape in your designs to show contrast and all. Also here, this text is inside a shape, a circular shape. All right, there are other circles here. There are circles. By the way, this is called repetition. Having the same elements in different parts of your design is called repetition at different scales. It's called repetition. So it makes more sense that if, as I've drawn a circle, a big circle, and put the text inside, and I'm having other circles, it just makes the kind of like harmonizes the design. So you are not going to see a circle and then see one cube and see, so it doesn't cut it and stuff. So now this shape helps my design to be focused. You focus on it, on the text that is being said. The shape here, circular shape. So that's for shape. So you can apply shape to your designs for emphasis and contrast also.